How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about SNDL Sundial growers. It has pulled back inside the market today, so I want to make sure you guys have a strategy as far as how you're supposed to be looking at this stock. But before we get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're considering to take a position, I suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is a technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know where's that support and where's that resistance. This is very key so you have a strategy and you're not overpaying or you're not catching a falling knife. Secondly, we're going to be taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know what is the overall market sentiment for SNDL. Is it negative or is it positive? Or are there a lot of short sellers who are still vested in this play? And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thought. So let's get started. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial growers. So let's see how it performed on the day. So ended up closing at 91 cents, being down 1.09% on the day. On the low, it tested 87 cents, and then on the high, testing 92 cents. So first and foremost, we want to see how is it lining up with our indicators. So as we take a look at the RSI down below, it is right around 45. So it is getting into that oversold territory. Now we want to see how it lines up with our indicators on the chart here, and we can see right away that is below the 100-day. It's also below the 21-day EMA, but of course it is showing strength above the 200-day. Like I was saying in previous videos, these are the areas where we look at adding to our positions and where we did on this channel. So if you can get in the low 70 range, you're really setting yourself up fairly well if you want to be in this particular play. So the matter of the fact is, yes, it is pulling back right now. And as far as will this continue, most definitely it can. And this is why I've been telling you guys this repeatedly. So what we want to look forward to in regards to SNDL looking bullish again, it's going to have to come back above the 21-day EMA, which is right around 97 cents. But of course, I feel $1 is that psychological level for SNDL. So any type of movement or momentum above $1 definitely shows us strength to the upside, as you can see over here, testing all the way to $1.48. And if we could pass this 148, or let's just call it this 150 level, then we definitely have some room for upside here. But if you have long-term conviction in SNDL and you can really have the opportunity to add when it's below $1, because we know for a fact that SNDL will be above $1 within a year from now, all right? So this is where you got to take advantage of these swing trade opportunities. So for now, I'm not going to be adding as of yet, but if it does get back down to that low 70 range, that's when I'll be adding a little bit more. So around Fintel, we're going to take a look at the short interest information for SNDL Sundial growers. So as you can see here, the short volume ratio is at 25%. So of course, this is fairly significant here. Now, what does this look like? So out of 121.1 million shares that were traded, and this is taken into consideration from Friday close, 30 million of those shares, or just over 30 million, were actually sold short. So definitely significant here. Now, if we scroll down, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 18 minutes ago, and the short ball free rate is at 2.23%. As we scroll down and take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, it is lower from what we saw on the 17th when it was at 26, and then also seeing it go down to 24.78 is going to be very interesting to see what it's going to be later on inside of the evening. I do believe it's going to be staying above 21%, but of course, even though that is negative market sentiment, it does give SNDL a lot of short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts for SNDL Sundial growers, when we were taking a look at the short interest information, as you can see, there's still a lot of negative market sentiment. So what this means, there can be more pressure on the price of the stock. If it decides to pull back further, especially getting into that 70-cent range, you guys already know that I'm going to add. That's where we decided to load heavy when it was around that 72, 75 level. If you believe that SNDL should be able to get back to $1 or above, this is where the opportunity lies here in regards regards to an overall swing trade. Do keep in mind this also is a speculative play at the end of the day. So what this means is if we end up having a big catalyst in the cannabis industry, SNDL will move. Rising tides float all boats. If we end up getting big news from the company in itself in regards to an acquisition, then of course the stock price is going to move. Why is this possible? Because SNDL does have a lot of cash on hand. And we also did see on their most recent earnings report, we saw a positive EBITDA. So just see that they're going in the right direction. They have cash on hand. They're looking at investments, looking at acquisitions. The future can look bright for SNDL. So I just look at these opportunities in regards to pullbacks, right? So if it pulls back, instead of being frustrated and angry, if you have high conviction, use it to actually get your cost average down. But only do this if you actually do believe in the company. If you don't, then of course this is not a smart thing to do. And what many would do and what I would do in that position, if I'm in a stock and I'm not liking or I don't believe in it anymore, then I'll look at other stocks where I can move my money to and be able to take advantage of that opportunity. So that's what I wanted to really update you guys on for today. You know this stock is super volatile already. Just make sure you have a game plan if you're going to be inside of this play. We'll be talking real soon.